Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So the Michigan Republican Party has been a disaster for quite some time now. They are raising less money per quarter in some instances than what many of you have in your checking account. And it is a big mess. And we know this. The Republican Party chairwoman has been basically an incompetent fool, and a lot of people are saying, including myself, that Trump is going to struggle in Michigan if they don't get new leadership. Now, here is the good news. They may be getting new leadership. Kristina Karamo is the current chairwoman of the Michigan Republican Party, and she has now been removed as the Michigan Republican chairwoman with a 90% vote of those voting in favor of removing her. There's kind of like a coup going on in the Michigan Republican Party, and it's a very good thing. Now, she's in denial about this, make no mistake. She's like saying, I will never step down. She's blaming everybody else except for herself for her own shortcomings, which is a massive disaster, and it's one of the reasons why her leadership is so weak. But nevertheless, she has been removed, at least by this motion. And you do kind of have this unique situation where you have like a shadow Michigan Republican Party. You have two different leadership. You have dueling statements that were released this morning, one from the current chairwoman or the new chairwoman and one from Kristina Karamo. It was a big mess, and this is a mess that's probably going to take a while to deal with until Karamo does decide to stand down, which I think will happen eventually. But either way, it is a good thing that you're seeing the fact that a lot of people in the Michigan Republican Party do see that the problem is with the current leadership, and the leadership needs to be changed, because you cannot have weak leadership, incompetent leadership that does not know what they're doing. I don't care that Kristina Karamo tries to say that she's like a MAGA personality or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're a MAGA personality, but you're incompetent, that's honestly worse than being somebody who's like a rhino but a team player when push comes to shove. Because what she's doing is she's essentially the biggest rhino of all. Because what she's doing is she's holding back people like Donald Trump from being able to have the resources necessary to go out there and win the state of Michigan. And it's like, yeah, we understand that the rhinos that led the Michigan Republican Party for all of these years, yeah, they did leave the party in a bad situation. Nobody's going to be denying that, and a lot of the Karamo defenders are pointing towards that, but it doesn't necessarily defend the fact that she has done literally nothing to rectify the problem at hand. She's somebody who is extremely incompetent, and she lost her Secretary of State election by 14 percentage points. She lost Macomb County, which is a county that Donald Trump is probably going to win by over 10 points this year. She lost it by 12 percentage points. She was losing counties that Republicans haven't lost at the presidential level in over a decade. I mean, seriously. It's a big mess. She doesn't know what she's doing. She claimed that she won her election. She didn't. I don't care what amount of voter redacted may have taken place. She lost because she was an abysmal candidate. She had a lot of baggage to her name, and now she's kind of carrying that with her as she's leading the state party. Why are we rewarding somebody who, I'm not saying she lost given certain circumstances, because, for example, Trump in 2020, yeah, there were circumstances that were working against him, etc. There are times where people do end up falling short, but it's not entirely all their fault. This was her fault. Why are we rewarding her with a leadership position? And it's not like she's really all that based either. All she really does is sit up there and posture at her position about how everybody's against her, and then she tries to say that everybody who doesn't like her is a racist. And it's just a big, abysmal mess. It's like, this is not exactly how this works. She's not good at her job. That's the real reason why people are trying to go out there and remove her. We're fed up. Every wing of the Republican Party is fed up, whether they happen to be a part of the establishment or whether they happen to be like grassroots, whether they happen to be in the more MAGA wing. Like, that's just the way these things go. And Donald Trump didn't even endorse Karamo for this position. Donald Trump endorsed Matt DePerno, who, yeah, he lost in 2022, but he did outperform the rest of the ticket. And if you had a stronger performance at the top of the ticket, yeah, there's a decent chance he would have won. He didn't lose because he was an abysmal candidate. Asking the Attorney General candidate to go out there and outrun the top of the ticket by 10 points against the current Attorney General, who's basically attached to the top of the ticket at the hip. We know Whitmer and Nessel, they're basically intertwined. Nessel's more of a psychopath, but still doesn't really change very much. It's like, yeah, he was not the worst candidate in the slightest, but Karamo was. Karamo was objectively an awful candidate. She should not have been the nominee. I don't care how much she sits up there and tries to say base things, because she says a lot of cringe things too. And the way she's led the party is abysmal. It's nothing short of controlled opposition. So it's a very good thing that you kind of have like the shadow GOP now. You kind of have this state party that is fractured. Maybe you're going to have like two state parties, an incompetent one and a competent one. Well, we have to lean on the more competent leadership, because that's really what's going to drive an election victory for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is leading Joe Biden in the state of Michigan by nearly 5 points. The state of Michigan is a state that is very economically heavy when it comes down to voting. And looking at this, they're not really fond of Joe Biden. He's not popular there. Donald Trump, compared to other Republicans, he's like that turnout energy booster, because you have so many white working class voters in the state of Michigan, Macomb County, but just even like the smaller metro areas as well. Like, Donald Trump does a lot better than other Republicans. We saw that even in 2020 in the state of Michigan compared to 2018. We're going to see it in 2024 compared to 2022. And what it shows is that he has the ability to go out there and win, but he's only going to be able to do it if you have leadership of the state party that can help him out, that is not going to get in his way. And I think Trump is one of the only people that can transcend that. Yeah, I think he could end up winning Michigan, even if you do have basically state leadership that is extremely incompetent. If Karamo's still going to be the state chair in some regard in any capacity, yeah, Trump could still win the state, but still, it's going to get a hell of a lot easier for him if these people are going to get out of the way, and you could get people in there that know what they are doing. Because the Michigan Republican Party, they're broke. I mean, they have no direction. They are in complete shambles. And I see so many people out there even defending this weak leadership. And it's like, you don't have to defend the old leadership. I'm not saying you do. The old leadership sucked too. This leadership is worse. And this leadership is going to directly hold Donald Trump back ahead of the 2024 election. I don't care how much they virtue signal or claim to support Donald Trump. And you know who kind of played an instrumental role in leading this charge against Christina Karamo was actually Laura Loomer. I mean, a lot of people on the right, they have an opinion of her one way or another. It's a very divisive thing. She's kind of a divisive figure, even in these circles. But she did a very, very good thing in terms of kind of spearheading this coup against Christina Karamo. And hopefully now, because of not just her efforts, but a lot of people's efforts, you're going to have stronger leadership. And you will, because Donald Trump can win the state of Michigan, and he is aggressively chasing the voters in the state that he needs to win in order to win the state of Michigan. Going out there, and he's chasing aggressively the votes of these union workers. I mean, that is unprecedented for a Republican to do. That doesn't mean that he's going to cave to all of the union demands, but it shows that he's willing to give these workers a voice, you know, take their concerns into account, and it kind of helps his pro-worker brand in a place like Michigan, for example, or Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, Ohio. I mean, he is definitely going to run up the score with these voters who might be like socially moderate to conservative, but economically, I mean, they voted Democrat for economic reasons, but Joe Biden and his joke of an administration has done nothing but stab them in the back. And you see Donald Trump going out there and he is talking to these union leaders. He is, having photo ops with them. It all helps. It really does. It all helps him out. And when it comes down to Biden, who is struggling, he's viewed unfavorably in regards to the economy by like 20 plus points. It's like, yeah, Donald Trump could use that to accelerate the realignment. And that's going to take place in Michigan. It's partially ground zero for it, along with Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. And he's only going to really be able to do that if he has competent leadership in place in the state party that we just do not have. So you kind of have this civil war going on, and it seems like the tables are turning. Yeah, she's still, going to put her straitjacket on, and she's going to say, oh, I'm still the leader. I'm still the leader. But it's like a lot of people are viewing her as illegitimate. And even if she's going to stick around for a little bit longer, technically, I think she's going to be gone within the next couple of months or so for good from the state party, which is definitely going to be a positive thing, and it's going to help Donald Trump out ahead of the 2024 election. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Red Eagle out.